In the grimdark future of the 30th millennium, the galaxy trembles beneath the weight of an Imperium expanding like wildfire, with the Emperor's great crusade sweeping across the stars. But amidst this unrelenting war, a single question lingers in the minds of those who serve. Who is the single strongest warrior in the galaxy? Clearly, it's the Emperor of mankind himself, he who towers above all with his boundless psychic might and immortal presence. But the better question is, who is the second strongest? Perhaps a Primarch, or perhaps it is none other than Constantine Valdor. Constantine Valdor is the Captain General of the Legio Custodes, the shield of the Emperor and the first of the 10,000. He is a warrior with no peer, and he wields the best weaponry that anybody could find in the galaxy to war. Valdor dons the Constantine warplate, which was worked by the same artificers that forged the Emperor's own warplate. This suit of armor is proof against all but the most destructive of attacks and most terrible of weapons. Not only that, but its glorious origin and astonishing workmanship serve to inspire those that fight at his side, urging them to deeds of valor. And his main weapon is the Apollonian spear, which is believed to be crafted by the hand of the Emperor himself, and once wielded by his own hand in battle as far back as the Unification Wars, in which he rose to power on Terra. This spear was then given to Valdor upon his ascension to the mantle of Chief Custodian. Like the signature armament of the Custodian Guard, it incorporates both a power blade and an inbuilt bolter weapon, though in both cases these are of a potency far exceeding that of the Emperor's elite. With these two armaments, Constantine Valdor is indeed a force to be reckoned with. What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. In this one, I'm going to be going over who a lot of people think may be the strongest warrior in the galaxy, bear that of the Emperor himself. Now, I know what you're thinking, what about the Primarchs? Now, those could be at a different level than Valdor, but let's go ahead and read some excerpts from these novels as we find out who's better, a Primarch or Constantine Valdor. So let's dive in. In Master of Mankind, we see exactly just how powerful the Custodes are. Zephon's pale eyes narrowed, his concentration absolute, taking in the ballet of violence unfolding before him. He had seen the warriors of the 10,000 fight before, albeit only in grainy-picked footage. He had heard of the countless unpoetic comparisons describing their uniqueness as the perfect exemplar of a process that became diluted and rushed to mass-produce the legions of Astartes. Yet he had never seen them in battle against Space Marines. The warrior reaved through them, reaved through Zephon's cousins from the rebellious legions, cutting them down, butchering them from the way Zephon himself had massacred his way across both human and alien battlefields. How easy, all of a sudden, to see how Constantine Valdor, the Captain General of the Custodian Guard, was considered an equal of the Primarchs themselves in matters of blade work, when any custodian could be as skilled as this. So within this excerpt, we see that the Custodes fighting against traitors, Space Marines, aka the heretics during the heresy, we see them taking them apart just as easily as Space Marines do that against the Xenos and humanity. Now, throughout all the animations that we've seen, we know just how easy Space Marines can take out humans. For example, look at this from the secret level animation. However, to contradict this, in Alfarius, head of the Hydra, we see a different account of just how powerful these Custodes are. "Who are you?" Valdor says. He was not tense as such, but he was still ready to flow into the attack at a moment's notice. I gave him a half smile. "I am Alfarius." The name meant nothing to him back then, But realization seemed to dawn nonetheless, and he extinguished his blade's disruptor field. You are one of the Astartes progenitors. No other being of which I am aware could come close to matching me in combat, but they were all lost. Come close to? I filed that away for future reference. We had matched each other utterly. In the few seconds we had been engaged, and Valdor had been wearing powered armor that enhances movements and reflexes. Should I ever have a similar suit, I would be intrigued to try the Captain General once more. Not all were lost, I told him, not for as long as you have believed, and as I suspect you heard from Malcador, my existence was intended to remain secret, even from you it seems. I am a skilled fighter, and even Valdor did not outmatch me, although that contest was so brief that no particular telling conclusions can be drawn from it. So from these excerpts here, we can deduce that Valdor did indeed fight against Alfarius. Now, the thing about Alfarius, we have to remember, he is a Primarch, but he's a little bit different than the rest. He's smaller, but more agile, and it seems that he also has his counterpart, Omegon, his twin. But perhaps it is two bodies inhabiting a single soul, and as such, maybe Alfarius and Omegon don't have the same capabilities as the other Primarchs because their power is split in half. They are all about working in secrets and treachery, trying to outplan, outmatch their opponents. And here we see that even though Alfarius was unarmored, he was able to go toe-to-toe against Valdor, although for just a few seconds, and they matched each other evenly. However, if Alfarius did have his war plate on him, maybe he can get the best of Valdor at the end. Now, keeping in line with the Primarchs, it is said that Constantine Valdor did indeed spar with a lot of Primarchs, Horus and the Lion, and he would even best them a few times, able to tag them once or twice. However, these are just that, spars. They're training exercises. They're not giving it their 100%. Now, that may mean that perhaps the Primarchs were letting him get, a hit or two to boost up his confidence, actually give them a better training exercise. Now, of course, take this however you guys want to, but at the end of the day, I feel that as strong and as powerful as Constantine Valdor was, he was only the Emperor's right hand. He confided in him, he was, I guess you can say, his best friend, and he could have been the answer to when the Primarchs needed to be dealt with. Because let's remember that the Primarchs and the Space Marines were always meant to be tools, to be used to unify humanity and then discarded. And when the time came, it was that of the Custodes to take them apart systematically. And Valdor is probably the closest custody we have in terms of power to that of the Primarchs. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you still agree that the Primarchs are stronger than Valdor? Valdor capable to go toe-to-toe with them if he's really trying? Or perhaps he doesn't fall anywhere near that level? Now, we may be able to see exactly just how powerful Valdor has been throughout the entire years as we get to the end of the King in Yellow storyline, which may tie in with the final novelizations of the End and the Death. So with that being said, guys, let me know all your thoughts, your speculations, your theories, and let me know what other topics you want me to cover in the next episodes. So again, this has been The Silent Alchemist. Thank you for watching, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.
Always used to put my freedom first.